Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking about some Prizepicks plays I like for the NFL game on Thursday night for this week, Week 8. We have the Ravens and the Bucs playing this Thursday night, and this should be a pretty good primetime game. I'm excited for this one. There are a couple props I do like in this game, and we got 2 picks to give out in this video. Normally for these primetime games, I don't normally give out more than 2 picks just because it's pretty hard to find like a ton of props to bet for one game. But I did find 2 picks that I like for this one. So as always, guys, we're going to share these 2 plays. We're going to talk through why I like them. But before we do get started, if you guys enjoy these Prizepicks videos, make sure you hit that like button down below. If you have not yet, hit that subscribe button as well. Also, check out Prizepicks, link down below in the description. Or when you sign up for Prizepicks, use promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And if you guys do want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I do provide those over on Patreon. Link down below in the description. I probably won't give out any more plays for this game. Like the 2 picks I give out in this video will probably be all that I play for this game. But I'll definitely have a full list of plays for the Sunday NFL slate. I'm also providing Prizepicks plays daily on Patreon for NBA. So got a ton of Prizepicks content going up over on Patreon. I also give out DFS content on Patreon. So if you play on DraftKings, if you play on Yahoo, NBA DFS, NFL DFS, I provide content for those platforms as well. So definitely check out the Patreon. A lot goes up over there. Check it out. Link down below in the description if you are interested. But talking through the 2 picks I like for this Thursday night game, we got 2 fantasy score props that I'm liking. We're gonna be backing some of the star players in this game. There's a lot of star players in this game. You got Lamar, Tom Brady, Fournette, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Chris Godwin. I think it's a good spot for Lamar Jackson. And his 20 fantasy score prop, I do like the over here. We know that Lamar Jackson is a quarterback that offers massive upside. He's not really been playing that well. If you do look over his last 5 games, he's gone under this prop now in 4 straight games. But starting off the season, he was playing at an elite level, put up 21 fantasy points against the Jets, put up over 40 fantasy points against the Dolphins and against the Patriots. Since that Week 3 game against the Patriots, like things have kind of gone downhill for Lamar. But he's had kind of some tough matchups. You know, there's been some games he's played in recently that I know have had some weather problems. Last week against the Browns, like he only threw the ball 16 times. He only completed 9 passes. The passing, has not been great for Lamar lately. He's not been throwing the ball that well, but he's still been giving you that rushing upside. 73, 58, 77, and 59 rushing yards over their last 4 games. He's also gotten really unlucky with touchdowns. He only has 3 touchdowns over their last 4 games. Lamar is usually a good bet to get at least 1 or 2 passing touchdowns just about every week, and we know he's always a threat to get a rushing touchdown as well. He's just one of these quarterbacks that has massive upside. And the 20 fantasy points I think is definitely doable for Lamar here. I think he can throw for 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, and then probably run for like 40 or 50 yards. Maybe he gets a rushing touchdown. Like there's a lot of ways for him to go over this line. And I think this is definitely going to be a game where the Ravens do have to lean on Lamar more because the Ravens are going to be without J.K. Dobbins once again. They're going to be running a 3-headed committee at running back. I don't really see them having much success running the ball. They're going to give Gus Edwards some carries. They're going to give they're going to give Kenyon Drake some carries. Justice Hill might get some opportunity as well. Against this Tampa Bay front 7, like the Tampa Bay defense has always been really good at stopping the run. They've always been kind of a pass funnel. You kind of have to throw against Tampa Bay. You can't really run the ball against them. So far this season, they've not been as stout against the run. But I really don't think that the Ravens are going to have much success running the ball against Tampa Bay here. I think they're going to have to lean on Lamar. They're going to have to lean on Lamar's arm. And I think this could be a big game for Lamar. I do like his 20 fantasy score. I think there's, again, a lot of ways that he can go over this line, whether it be passing, maybe running. I think he'll finally get into the end zone hopefully here. Again, he's run really bad on touchdowns the last few weeks. He's going to have more than just 1 touchdown a game. I mean, Lamar can score 20 fantasy points, without even getting a touchdown. Like he could throw for 200 yards and then run for 100 plus yards because he's got that kind of upside. But I definitely like this line of 20 fantasy points. I think Lamar can go over this one here. I think it's a good matchup for him. I think Tampa Bay is going to stop the run here. They're going to do whatever they can to stop the run. Make Lamar beat them, make Lamar throw the ball, and I think Lamar will have to drop back more. I mean, he only threw the ball 16 times last week, which is crazy. Lamar is a guy that needs to be throwing the ball, 30 plus times a game, in my opinion. I don't think the Ravens, I don't think they're going to have much success, running the ball here against Tampa Bay. So I like the over on 20 fantasy points for Lamar Jackson as our first play for today. And then to pair with that on the Tampa Bay side, going to Chris Godwin. I like Chris Godwin to have more than 15 fantasy points here. And Chris Godwin, coming back from his injury, he's played about 4 games since coming back from injury, and he's been really good. Now, he's only gone over this fantasy score line in 1 out of those 3 games, but he's been consistent, 12, 12, 15, and then 11 fantasy points. He has been getting a ton of targets, and that's really what I like to see is that Godwin is heavily involved. Last 4 games, 10, 6, 12, and 13 targets. So he has double-digit targets now in 3 out of their last 4 games. 7, 6, 6, and 7 catches. He's been racking up a ton of receptions. Obviously, receptions are very important for fantasy score because they're worth a point each. It is PPR, so you do get a full point per reception. And I was looking at Chris Godwin's reception prop right now. It is set at 6.5, and this is actually minus 140 on DraftKings Sportsbook. So I also kind of like the over on 6.5 receptions for Godwin. For the sake of this video, for the entry, I'm going to be playing his fantasy points, and we'll kind of explain why. But I do also like his over on 6.5 receptions. I think he's got a good chance to catch 7 passes. But Godwin's getting a ton of volume right now. He's getting a ton of targets. And we know this Tampa Bay offense, their passing offense is very concentrated around a main group of guys. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and then Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette's going to get plenty of opportunity in the passing game. Mike Evans is going to get plenty of targets. So is Chris Godwin. They don't really have a ton of other guys that are going to get targets. They've been using K-Dot a little bit at the tight end position. He's kind of been their number 1 tight end, but he's not really been getting a ton of volume. Russell Gage has already been ruled out for this game. Julio Jones might play. He's considered a game-time decision, but Julio hasn't played since week 4, I believe. So it's hard to tell if Julio's even going to be, he might even be on like a pitch count. I don't think he'll have much of a role anyway. So once again, it should be the Chris Godwin, Mike Evans show. Those should be the guys running a lot of the routes, playing a lot of the snaps. I know last week, Chris Godwin's snap share was way up there. I think he played over 90% of the snaps. I know he led the wide receiver core in snaps played. Yeah, 94% of the snaps last week for Godwin, 89% the week before that. He's going to be out there for nearly every snap. He's going to be running a ton of routes. We know Brady loves to target Godwin, as you can see by the targets that he's gotten over the last few games. And he's a guy that has run really unlucky with touchdowns, and that's the reason that I like the fantasy score. At some point, Chris Godwin is going to get into the end zone. He's played 5 games this season. He doesn't have a touchdown yet, and I do want to read off his stats for the season. So in the 5 games he's played, he's seen 44 targets. He has 29 catches for 293 yards, but 0 touchdowns. I don't know how many touchdowns Chris Godwin had last season. I probably should have pulled that up just to look at it. But I know that he had I don't know how many touchdowns. I'm going to look it up real quick. So Chris Godwin had, let's see. This season he doesn't have a single touchdown. Last year he had 5 receiving touchdowns. The year before that, 7, 9, 7. So, he's already played 5 games this season with 0 touchdowns. Last year he played 14 games and had 6 TDs. He also did have a rushing touchdown last season. The year before that, 7 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns. He's getting into the end zone at some point. It might be this week, it might not be, but I think Godwin could definitely find the end zone here. We know he's going to be targeted a ton, both throughout no matter where they are on the field, but especially in the red zone, they'll definitely target Godwin a lot there. And you look at his props, he's basically projected for about 70 yards, and as we mentioned, he's a favorite to go over 6.5 receptions. So he's pretty much projected for 7 catches and 70 yards, which is 14 fantasy points, and that doesn't factor in any chance of him scoring a touchdown. If he scores a touchdown here, he's almost certainly going to finish with more than 15 fantasy points. And Godwin is going to find the end zone at some point. There's definitely some positive touchdown regression coming for him. So I like the 15 fantasy score, especially because you do get the chance of him scoring a touchdown, which could pay off. I also like the over on 6.5 receptions, but for the sake of the video, for the 2-pick entry, we're going to be playing 15 fantasy points, taking Chris Godwin to have more than 15 fantasy points. And these are going to be the 2 picks that I do run for this Thursday night football game, guys. There's a good amount of players you could choose from, a decent amount of options in this game, but these were the 2 that I felt the best about. Definitely, I like backing Lamar here. I think Lamar's going to have a really good game. Chris Godwin's role has been amazing lately. He's been getting a ton of targets. I like backing him here as well. Just going to be, kind of backing the star players in this game, but that's what I'm liking, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully, we can cash out on these 2 picks. We've been doing pretty well with our Prizepicks plays lately, especially for NBA. If you guys have not been tailing the NBA picks, on Wednesday, we gave out 3 picks for NBA, hit all 3 of those. On Tuesday, we gave out 2 picks, hit both of those. 5-0 the last 2 days on our NBA plays. You guys should definitely be checking out the NBA videos and tailing those picks, even if you maybe don't follow NBA. And I definitely want to catch these NFL plays as well. Hopefully, we can carry over our success from NBA into this NFL game. But yeah, guys, best of luck on the slate. Thanks as always for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And make sure to check out Prizepicks as well. Sign up for Prizepicks and use promo code NOAH. When you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. But thanks as always for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Best of luck tonight. Peace.